Well, greetings, nerds! It is I, your illustrious host, Jay. With me, as always, my co-host and stalwart companion, Christopher. We are broadcasting to you from the planet of junk, Junkion. Ba weep, grana weep, ninny bong.
All right, let's roll out.
In a world where two nerds come together to talk about all things nerdy, Just Us Nerds podcast was born. We talk about comics, movies, and all things in between. Get ready to have your mind blown by the most amazing podcast ever recorded anywhere, ever. The Just Us Nerds podcast. Aw, yeah.
All right, Chris, how you doing?
Good, man.
I'm happy to be back.
Absolutely.
I am ecstatic. I am so excited. This is going to be a fantastic show. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say this is going to be, no pressure, this is going to be our best show ever.
Well, that's kind of hard to do. But first off, we want to thank you guys. You guys are what make the show. So, if anything, come to the Facebook page, YouTube, however you're finding us through the radio waves or whatever, thank you so much.
Telepathy.
Yes.
Extrasensory perception. Any way you find us, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And we've loved the responses that we're getting from people. So thank you so much.
All right, let's start.
What'd you read this week?
Well, I've gone through a number of comics, but actually I just picked up a new one, and I think you read it as well. I think it was kind of one that you called me earlier and was like, hey, we should read this. It's the new Spider-Man Deadpool crossover.
Yeah. So this is being drawn by Ed McGuinness and written by Joe Kelly. Yeah, we're going to get into that in a moment because I know you've got your feelings about Ed McGuinness. This is kind of Marvel's attempt at sort of a buddy comedy.
Well, I think they're trying to, pick up off the movie. I mean, that's a big thing for them. The movie was such a success that now that Deadpool's become...
Daredevil's also a success.
But Deadpool has become such a household name.
Who would have imagined, right?
Absolutely.
Who would have imagined? Like, Deadpool. Dead what? Who?
Dead what now? Deadpool?
You mean that Clint Eastwood movie?
Yeah.
No one would have ever guessed it. But yeah, I agree. I mean, Marvel wants to strike while the iron's hot. Yep. Deadpool's hot right now. And so you put these two characters together. And the premise is kind of interesting. So they've established it in that Deadpool is a big Spider-Man fan, and so...
Which I kind of like.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense when you consider Deadpool's costume sort of resembles Spider-Man's.
Well, and the thing that I like that I always kind of looked at is Spider-Man is always like a fan of everybody else. He's a fan of Captain America. He's a fan of, Iron Man when he was meeting everybody. Yeah. Now he's got a lackey. He's got a buddy,
He's got a fan, and it's so funny. It's like, out of all the people to admire him,
it's Wade.
It's Wade. It's Deadpool. Someone who I don't think really kind of epitomizes anything of like what Spider-Man stands for. But so yeah, the series so far is basically Deadpool's attempts to win over Spider-Man's friendship. He wants to be Spider-Man's BFF. Okay, so let's get into the good and the bad.
All right. Well, I will say the art is beautiful. I do love Ed McGuinness' art.
Agreed.
I don't like his handlers.
You're gonna have to. Right. I feel like there's a story behind that.
So a couple years ago at a con, I had the privilege to walk up on Ed McGuinness' booth. No line, because a lot of times, as you all know, people don't know who they are. And so I was looking and was actually trying to make a deal with him, whatever, and his lackey just like walks up to me, cuts me off, and says, if you're going to talk to him, you're going to talk to me. Ed McGuinness wanted nothing to do with his fans. He was busy, trying to make money drawing.
Are you sure it was at his booth, Chris? Did you walk up to him in the men's room?
No, it was at his booth. He was sitting down and he was drawing, and he wanted nothing to do with us. So I talked to his lackey, and his lackey was a dick. So...
You have been put on notice, sir.
Yes. Whoever you are,
Harumph!
You son of a bitch.
Harumph!
Yes.
We do not take kindly to it.
But art-wise, he does beautiful art. I loved the Justice League run that he did. I loved Public Enemies. I loved, all of that. He likes using I like to call them ballooned up.
Yes.
He loves making them ballooned up, except for this one. They're actually not that big.
He definitely has a very cartoony, sort of bubbly style that I think
very round edges.
Yes,
very round.
very round. They almost look like balloon people.
Yeah.
And traditionally, Ed McGuinness's characters, they all look like they come from a planet where like everyone has a gym membership.
Oh, well, come on,
and like
bro.
lifts a lot, all the time. Like consists on a diet of strictly protein and just lifts all the time. Nobody skips leg day, arm day, neck day, nose day, everything. Ass day. Just everything is just muscle on muscle on muscle.
Agreed.
So yeah, I think that his style really lends itself well to sort of the cartoonish tone and the silliness of the story. I'm kind of lukewarm to this series so far. I was thinking I was going to enjoy it a lot more than I have been. This should work for me, but it doesn't. The two characters have the potential to have such funny banter, and I find the writing a little clunky.
I agree. I find Spider-Man's kind of the one lacking, though. There's the guy who normally has the smart mouth, and he's kind of just meh.
He seems very sort of uptight.
Yeah.
Next to which I mean, in some ways it makes sense, but Spider-Man actually kind of comes across a little bit as a jerk in this book.
I can see that.
I think, but just the writing, the storytelling for me is just a bit clunky. You have many cutaways. We're shown the outcome of a scenario without seeing the setup. We have these big kind of splash pages, which I think are meant for kind of dramatic effect and sort of to be funny, but for some reason they're just not hitting with me. Maybe I just don't have a sense of humor. That's possible.
No, I agree with you. I have a sense of humor, and I looked and I was like, meh.
So basically we're saying if we don't get it, it's just not funny.
Right, exactly. I mean, if we're not getting it, how are everybody else getting it?
Clearly.
Yes.
Some of the jokes land, some of them don't. I thought that it was funny So Deadpool's going to like all of these very elaborate means to try to win over Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He's in an earlier issue, like issue 1, he like pays this actor to like this interdimensional thespian, if you will, to dress up as Dormammu, who is like this major big baddie in the Marvel universe, and stage like this whole invasion that he and Spider-Man have to stop. In the issue we're talking about, issue 4, they are defending this village in this South American country.
Yeah.
And Deadpool has this squad of sort of hitmen.
His mercenary group or whatever.
Yeah, what's it called?
The Mercs for Hire.
Deadpool's Mercs for Money.
That's it.
Which is kind of funny in
Rip
itself.
off of Heroes for Hire.
For Hire, and then it's also, if you look, I don't know if you paid attention to this, but it's made up of all of these sort of D-list Marvel characters. Like you've got Slapstick. I don't know if you noticed. Slapstick, he was this sort of living cartoon character.
Yeah.
You have Terror Incorporated, which like you have to be like a super ultra 52 level nerd in order to know who that is. I had to Wikipedia him. I only remembered him because I had collected the Marvel cards. Do you remember the baseball cards?
Yeah, I had those.
And it was around the time when I guess Terror Incorporated was just like a new thing, and I was like, we got this cool character who wears a trench coat, and he's kind of actually, I read up on him, he's like sort of the monster from Jeepers Creepers. I don't know if did you ever see that movie?
It's like that scarecrow thingy with the flies.
Scarecrow thingy, and his power, it's actually kind of disturbing. He rips off body parts from people, and then he takes on their powers. He like incorporates their body parts.
So he'll take like Ron Jeremy's,
Yeah.
All right.
There you go.
All right. His nose.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Yes.
So anyway,
kind of weird.
It becomes very clear.
And then they also have like homeless Deadpool. The guys that like stitching. Or
whatever.
Yeah.
He's like bargain basement.
That's what they call him. Bargain basement Deadpool.
Bargain basement Deadpool. But the thing the joke that landed for me is it becomes apparent that Deadpool has given all of these people scripts that they want.
Because he even said, he's like, oh, I'm the greatest person here. Thanks for Deadpool. He's been helping. Should we talk about the charity for children? Like that. He's like, don't mention that.
And then one of them misreads the script and is like, working with Deadpool has filled me with probes.
Yeah.
And Deadpool's like, pride.
And he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, my arm got sweaty."
So that joke landed for me,
Yeah.
but not. I just find the laughs to be a little bit inconsistent. The artwork.
You think they're the Lucy Camden laughs? Like all of a sudden, those
like the old sitcom,
the
like the
program
canned laughs,
laugh.
like ha 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 ha.
the dead laugh.
Yeah. I'm probably going to keep reading it because I am enjoying the artwork and I want to see where they go with it.
Hey, maybe Peter will get married or something.
Oh, you're trying to get me into a nerd rage again, aren't you?
Nah,
no, not going to work. Not going to take the bait, my friend. Not going to take the bait, because probably if they did get him married, then you would have an editor that decided he didn't like it, and then he'd have to, I don't know, like make a deal with a Skrull or some bullshit like that, and then end up having to undo the whole Marvel universe just to dissolve the Spider-Man marriage, because I don't know, people at Marvel don't believe in marriage. I don't know.
Or maybe Deadpool marries them.
Maybe.
Oh, all right, there you go, folks.
Maybe.
All right, let's see. Let's talk about some current trends that are going on right now.
All right. Well, we've got we mentioned in two podcasts ago the DC rebirth storyline, and they're basically a rebranding of the DC universe.
Right.
And,
again,
we won't debate the
we're not gonna do it again.
The appropriateness of it. However, we were treated to some previews of the new costumes. And so
bear with us. We're actually gonna look at them, and you're
gonna hear some clicking and clacking. That is not us.
All right,
chattering our teeth. That is
all right. So we'll start with the new
computer.
Superman. I like the face. It's really dark blue. See, I like this is the new 52. I like that. I actually liked the collar. I think I was the only person in the world who liked the collar.
So we're going to put pictures up on Facebook and along with the YouTube video so you can see what we're talking about. But basically, Chris is describing the redesign for
the
Superman.
S is cool. I like the S. I mean, it looks, Superman. You can't miss that. The face looks good. I mean, he's a little bit thinner in the face.
And this is Jim Lee drawing him.
Yeah.
So you can't go
Jim
wrong
Lee's,
with...
I don't like these, the belt. I don't like the belt.
You don't like the belt?
I think it looks kind of stupid. I mean, it's not even connected. And then, the boots, he's got little red outlines. I don't know. You gotta have red boots, dude. This looks like...
It's a darker... It looks like the Ultraman.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the Ultraman, which is in... for those of you that don't know, in the DC universe, the Justice League sort of have these evil counterparts.
Yeah, I totally could see that.
And the Ultraman was Superman's counterpart, and it's very much a solid blue, no trunks, no red in the boots.
I was gonna say too, it kind of looks like like the rebirth after his death. Like he's got that really dark suit.
Oh, it was all black.
Yeah,
he wore a solid black suit.
But this is almost black. I mean, it's so dark blue. I mean, with the shading and stuff, it's almost black.
This, to me, when I look at it, it's a combination. A lot of these designs suggest to me that DC's really trying to get some of the fans they lost from New 52.
Agreed.
By bringing back some of the classic elements. So I think that's why
some of them, but then they add these stupid little ones.
Well, I think they did away with the collar because
so many people bitched.
That's more of the classic design, and you have still retained from the New 52 the trunks. I don't think we're ever going to see a superhero again wearing trunks on the outside.
All right, let's move to Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
All right. I love this. I love Wonder Woman's costume.
I like this. Like I said, I like a bunch of the New 52 designs, but which is kind of neat on the ones that we're going to show you because they actually have the New 52 image next to it.
The graphics that we have, yeah.
But the Wonder Woman, I love it. It's a great mixture of the comic and the movie. She actually has it looks almost like armor. Of course, still she's scantily clad. Her boots are higher. She's got actual knee gauntlet armor things.
She's actually more covered up, I think, than in previous versions of it. Because remember, Wonder Woman used to be. It was just like a swimsuit and go-go boots.
Yeah.
This is like she's wearing a cape here. She's got the knee-high boots. I mean, she's more.
The other thing too, what's becoming more prevalent in Wonder Woman, which I'm noticing, is I'm not a huge Wonder Woman fan, but I'm noticing they're finally using more of the sword and more of the shield. And they're making that more prominent than the lasso.
No, she's wearing.
Oh yeah, it is there. But
wearing the
you're
lasso.
Not seeing it. I mean, those are her primary weapons lately.
Agreed, and I think for me, this is a sign that DC is finally starting to get a handle on what the character of Wonder Woman is supposed to be about.
Yeah.
I think there was a long time where I don't think people knew what to make of Wonder Woman. She's an emissary for peace, yet she's a warrior.
Right. She spins around to make her costume work.
Well, I think that's more in the TV show. Yeah, that's true. But I think she's in the modern. She's sort of her costume's sort of modern. Yet we're saying that she comes from this ancient civilization of Amazons.
Right.
This look for me, I think,
looks old.
Finally, it looks good. It finally is saying this is someone who has been
too, with
around.
The cape. I love the cape. They did this red cape, but then they did like the yellow embroidery of like Roman down the side, and I like the design. Like I said, all in all,
it's regal.
This is an improvement.
It's regal.
Yeah, it shows that she's a princess.
She is. Yeah, it's regal. I like that.
I like this.
Okay, so let's talk about Robin and Superboy.
Okay, well, Robin. I mean, not much has changed.
I don't.
And
like
this is Damian Wayne.
Yeah.
I don't like the Iron Man boots that they've got going
either.
or the gauntlets.
Yeah, I don't like the clunky. I don't like
too
the
big
clunky
for
armor.
him.
He's a ninja, so I have a hard time believing that a character that's supposed to be agile is going to be able to sneak up on anybody.
I do like this. They kind of went more of a ninja-esque with the tunic, like it's lower.
I do. Yes, the tunic almost has, when I look at it, more shades of Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah, absolutely. I could see that.
So let's give a little quick character background, because some of our listeners may not know who Damian Wayne is.
So Damian Wayne is the son of Bruce Wayne and Talia al Ghul, Ra's al Ghul's daughter. Basically, Talia drugged him, used his...
Had her way with
the Dark Knight, and got pregnant. And then she kind of just walked off, and he never saw her again. Like 9 years later.
Are you saying Batman's a deadbeat dad?
No, she took him and left. And
what's the equivalent of a deadbeat mom?
Deadbeat mom.
With mom. Deadbeat mom. No.
All right.
It doesn't have that alliteration though.
I guess.
Yeah.
But so she has Damian, and Damian's actually been raised since birth as a League of Assassins. He was raised to be the next Demon's Head. So
did you mention that Talia is Ra's al Ghul's daughter? Okay.
I believe I did.
Okay. My attention goes in and out.
Yeah. So then all of a sudden, Talia comes back and goes, "Hey, guess what, Bruce? You've got a kid." And there he is. And then and you notice she just leaves him with him. She's like, "Bye."
It was on an episode of Maury Povich, wasn't it?
No.
Batman, you are the father.
Woo!
I have a son.
So, like I said, I don't know what these little side things. He's got like these yellow like chevrons on the side of his chest. I don't know what they are. I like it though.
Adds a little more color. I do like the tunic. I do like the hood. I think it has kind of shades of Ra's al Ghul. Not a big fan of the big clunky armor.
I like that he's got the scalp cape too.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, on to Superboy.
Superboy, yeah.
Or as I like to call him, that's Goodwill Boy.
Oh, why? Why you gotta hate on
His
Superboy?
His pants are too short. They're ripped.
He's a growing boy.
Growing boy my ass. He's got half a cape.
Oh,
I don't like that.
This is the uncostume. This is kind of
right. He's in jeans, freaking sneakers, and a zip-up hoodie with a goddamn cape. He looks like somebody who's shopping at Hot
Topic. I was just thinking that. Yeah. The interesting thing, I'm curious to know who this Superboy is.
Yes. Is this going to be Connor? I mean, because we've already portrayed Connor as a teenager.
Yeah, he's much older.
In the 20s.
This looked like a much younger character, so I'm wondering if this is... I was talking to you before the show about a storyline before the New 52 happened where Lois and Clark find a young Kryptonian, who turns out to be General Zod's son. But I'm actually thinking this may be...
And what was his name?
Christopher. Yeah, they named him. It was when Richard Donner was writing Superman.
So they used Christopher Reeve, maybe.
It was a very nice homage. But I'm thinking more that this isn't that character. I'm thinking this may actually be the son of Superman and Lois.
This isn't going to be Superman and Wonder Woman.
I don't think so, because I think one of the things that's happening in Rebirth is I think that they're bringing back the pre-New 52 Superman, and that Superman was married to Lois, and they actually had a kid together during the Convergence event. So I think that might be who it is. But I'm curious to see. But yeah, I'm right. It is. Let's call him Hot Topic Superboy.
Hot Topic Superboy. All right. Next one, we've got a new Green Lantern. Her name is Jessica Cruz. To be honest with you, I know nothing about this character.
I know equally nothing about this character.
So she got a Hal Jordan costume. Okay. She's of Latino descent, which is kind of cool.
I'm assuming. I mean, with the last name Cruz, I would think so.
The only thing I don't like is the ring is emitting the Green Lantern logo over one eye. It reminds me Star Wars of like when he's in the X-Wing and he's
in the trench.
Yeah, and he's going to drop the bomb and the little thing comes over his eye so that he can mark where it's at and use the Force, Luke, and then he puts it away.
Oh, I'm going to go even more obscure reference with you. All right. Last Starfighter.
Oh,
remember
yes.
The reptilian dudes,
Come on, dude.
right? The reptilian, and the guy had the little visor thing that would pop over his eye. All right,
so
again, when I look at this, it makes me think more that DC's wanting to go back to the more traditional characterization of these folks, because it is more of like a classic Green Lantern costume.
All right.
We don't have to talk too much about Batman because
we talked about it in our last podcast, but I like it. I love the blue. They went with a little bit. It's Jim Lee blue. I mean, that's he always uses that blue. He used it in Hush. He used it in all of his stuff. The gauntlets are looking a little bit more, metal, a little bit robotic. I love that the knuckles and stuff like that you can actually see. The utility belt, it's it's not bad.
This is much more a much more muted color palette.
I like this. It's like, a ninja.
Yes, and even the belt, there's the hint of yellow, but it's predominantly darkened out.
Like I said, and they got the outline of the yellow on the bat, the big black bat, which I like. I think it looks cool.
When I saw Jim Lee's version of this costume, this really sold me.
Yeah, Capullo's, I was like, all right. Arthur.
Your favorite now. Right. Now we're getting to your favorite. Aquaman. What do you think, buddy? Like, don't like?
It looks the same. I mean,
it does look the same.
It looks exactly the same.
Wait. Chris, sir. I beg to differ. There are no sideburns on this Aquaman. That is a huge difference. Excuse me.
So
there was also no necklace, which was on the previous incarnation of the Aquaman.
And they went with the original belt instead of making it like a big outlandish one. But all in all, I like it.
They haven't.
I like the clean cut Arthur. The trident looks cool. I think I like the other one better. If you look. I have the new 52
the
over
new 52
there. It's got the 3. It's just the 3 trident. It's very, very simple. This one's got some extra crap on it.
A little more ornate.
But it's got his logo in it, which is kind of cool.
It's not that different.
It looks like a fighting weapon.
I would say probably Aquaman out of all of the characters is probably changed the least from his new 52.
Agreed. But I like it. I think it's pretty cool. You got any more?
Well, let us know what you think about the new 52 designs. Please email us at justusnerdspc. That's PC as in podcast at gmail.com. Leave a comment on the YouTube page or leave a comment on our Facebook page. All right. Let's go on to movie talk now.
All right.
So I saw this story.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Which I think is great because this is what we call a follow-up because this is something we've already talked about.
Yeah, it is. It's a callback to an earlier show. Well, and so I read a story this week. As of, and I confirmed this, I went to YouTube, as of May 4th, okay, the Ghostbusters trailer, so the new movie that's coming out,
that I've already said I won't see.
That you've already said you won't see. Well, you're not alone, because apparently this is the most hated YouTube video of all time with 710,350 down votes.
And one of them was mine.
So
I helped.
So the question that I pose to you and to our listeners is, why are people hating on this movie before it even comes out? I know you have your reasons.
People don't like change.
So I have my reasons. Why don't you talk about kind of your reasons and then...
Honestly, I think that they don't like change. If they want to do an all-girl cast, whatever, okay, I'm cool with it. But the problem is they tried, like... You look at the trailer, and they got these jokes, and they are just so stupid. And, it seems to me like they were just kind of phoning it in, like, I guess we're going to be funny here, so let's try something.
They seem sort of recycled.
Yeah, and they're kind of using stereotypes. Why's the black chick gotta be all ghetto? Why is she the one who works at... Oh, y'all know the science. I know the city. What the hell's that all about?
Yeah, that was one of my complaints about it. It's like, can we... I mean, I think, aren't we past kind of that sort of very stereotypical portrayal of an African-American woman? Can't we... I mean, I've seen it already. You know, what else you got? Let's see an African-American woman portray something else.
And, you know, not for nothing, I know they don't have any ties with any of the original four, but you look at the character of Winston Zeddemore. He is a decorated Marine. That man put his life on the line to save his soldiers and everything like that, had a heart of a lion, and he joined that team because he was a leader.
Now let me say something, because for the people listening, they may not know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
There's a lot of backstory about the character of Winston that was actually cut out of the first Ghostbusters movie, because originally he was supposed to be played by...
They were going to go over his resume, but originally he was supposed to be...
supposed to be played by Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, you're funny, man. When's a Twinkie, man?
So I think that Chris should have to explain the rest of why he dislikes Ghostbusters as Eddie Murphy. And since I'm the only other person here, I would say my vote's the most important. So, all right, keep going. Tell me what don't you like about...
It is, man. Listen. All right. So you got these Ghostbusters chasing all the ghosts around the city, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, now they're just gonna go there and they're just trying to hash out old problems, what they already had. But you know, it's just the same for me. But it depends.
Well, why don't you talk about a little bit reboot or not to reboot? Eddie?
Oh no, leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Leave. You think they should not reboot it?
No.
Yeah, I feel the thank you, Eddie. Throwing my partner.
What's up, man? You're beautiful. You're beautiful. Sexual chocolate.
Shaka Khan. Throwing my buddy a little curveball here. That was one of my problems with it. Is the original Ghostbusters was such a classic, and you know, you have to wonder, why would Paul Feig even want to risk the inevitable fanboy thunder shitstorm by rebooting it? You have an established universe with lovable characters.
Why use it? Why would you redo it?
Yeah. Why not? Yeah, why not use it? Why would you do away with it? Just what would it really have hurt?
But yet they take pieces of it anyway. They have Slimer in it. They have all this other stuff, and you look and you're like, well, what the fuck? Why does he count and not everybody else?
Well, that's because they're basically just kind of doing the film over again.
They're redoing it
in a different way, which is I just, that for me is one of the problems I have.
No, here's what they did. They went, how about this? Let's just change something around, okay? Let's make the Ghostbusters girls, and then ready for Janine? Let's make her a good-looking guy.
Yeah,
Come on.
I know. It just it seems a bit pandering, and I mean, maybe they did. I mean, you know, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Don't give them anything. No.
It just you know, while I do feel that having an all-female cast is a bit of pandering, it really is not the biggest problem that I have with this. I more so I have the problem with just the reboot feels unnecessary. You mentioned already kind of the recycled and stale jokes. It's for me, the way that they're using Leslie Jones, and I've watched a little bit of her on YouTube, so I get it. That's like kind of her shtick. But it just feels sort of the sassy black woman in movies just seems like it's so cliche. I would like to see something.
We got Tyler Perry.
A little different.
Hello.
Yeah.
There's ghosts up in here.
Yeah, exactly. Let's cast that to Tyler Perry. If you really want to, if you want to just rehash, stereotypes, let's just go that way.
Yeah.
But and we've seen that Exorcist joke. Like they have in the trailer. Oh, the devil is alive. The power of whoever compels you. It's like we've seen it done already. It's like, give us something new.
To be honest, you guys ripped that off from Scary Movie, and it was terrible.
Yeah. So anyway, that's our movie talk. But before we move on to our next section, I want to pose a challenge to the audience.
No, I actually agree with this. Go ahead.
All right, fantastic. So no kickboxing match.
No kickbox.
Woo!
No.
Oh, thank God. All right. So I'm going to pose a challenge to our listeners, and if we like some of these, we're going to read them on the show, and if we really like them, we're going to just say we came up with them.
That's a great idea.
I think that's really good. So, all right, as part of our casting call, we have a subsection within that called We Pitch It and You Cast It.
Right.
Okay? So that's where we come up with an idea for a movie, and then we want you, the audience, to cast it, come up with the actors to be in it, and give us a brief premise of what the movie would be. So this was my first idea. This is the first I pitched, and you cast. I have to be really careful how I say that, because just one syllable off, and that's a whole nother conversation.
Well, you better watch it, because I'm going to edit the crap out of that.
So, all right, Chris, I want to see a Rocketeer Phantom movie.
Absolutely. I mean, you have so many options you can do with this. Are the Nazis invading? Are they coming into,
Don't go too much.
Are they coming into the jungle? What's going on? Who knows how these two have to work together?
And I want to see.
Is it going to be a buddy pick? Is it going to be
a versus?
Right, or is it going to be an action group? Who knows?
I want to see this movie. So I want to see this movie. Fans, I'm pitching it. Now you got to cast it, and then give me. Chris is giggling over. You are so immature, sir. Then that voice isn't helping either.
Yeah, no, no.
Come up with a cast, and then I want you to come up with a premise for the story.
Nope,
all right, we like them. We'll read them next time.
All right.
On to Toy Box.
Yay, Toy Box. All right. So
you've been very excited about this figure that's coming
let's talk
up.
about him first, and then we'll talk about the other one.
Muppet Batman.
Yeah, so we'll talk about him in a second.
Okay.
All right, this is a company called Mezco. I've seen these, and they're called 112. And they are a collective series, and what they've recently started is the collective DC Comics series. And the one I'm going to talk about is, of course, The Flash. This is, first off, I want to say probably one of the best Flash figures I have seen in a very, very, very long time.
We're going to put pictures up.
Yeah, the entire suit.
If you want to look at it, you can go to Big Bad Toy Store. Right. Sorry, Chris.
So the entire suit is cloth, except for the head, the arms, and stuff like that. But he's fully posable. Plus, he's got a stand that actually put him in running poses and stuff like that that'll actually hold him up. But what's even cooler is, of course, I like this, and I would say Jay likes it as well. The attachments, everything that comes with these, for Flash, he comes with 6 different hands. He comes with a tunnel that you add to a wind tunnel that he adds to his hand, like when he sucks up the oxygen.
Yeah, I like that.
And
I like that.
One of the cool ones that I see is lightning bolts.
Yeah.
You actually add the lightning to his boot and his hip, and it looks like he's hauling ass.
It's right out of the page.
Right,
it jumps right out of the page.
It's a little pricey. These are $75 a piece. But to be honest with you,
I mean, comparatively speaking to the Hot Toys,
right,
which are sometimes go into the hundreds.
300.
Yeah.
No, it's guaranteed at least 100. But for $75, you can't beat it. And so far, the 3 they've released a Captain Marvel, or Shazam, as you guys like to call him. I hate that his name is Captain Marvel. Leave it as Captain Marvel.
Shazam!
The Flash, and then Green Arrow. Green Arrow is the newest one released.
Did you talk about the costume?
I did. It's absolutely fabric. Absolutely fabric. It's
absolutely fabric.
So it's complete fabric. But they did these little plastic pieces, like his belt, the logo. Mm-hmm. You can actually see his eyes. They're not this whiteout, which is kind of cool for me.
It's definitely the Barry Allen.
Oh yeah,
Flash.
this is Barry. This is not Wally. Mm-mm. So this is going to be something for my personal collection. Like I said, I think I'm going to try to pick up as many as I can.
I think for the collector who wants something that's a little nicer than the DC Universe figures.
The Toys R Us exclusive.
But also wants to save on their wallet and not buy the Hot Toys. This is a nice compromise. And I think also...
Wait, you mean you don't want that Agent Coulson action figure for $265?
Yeah. Can I think about it?
Yeah, I think you're going to have to.
Yeah. Check it out on Big Bad Toy Store. We'll put some pictures up. But these are really nice looking figures. For me, because I tend to collect so many, I think I'll probably pass on this because it would just kill my wallet with the way that I collect figures.
Yeah, right. But for me, with these are going to be like staples in my collection. So that's why I'm going to get them. All right, let's talk about Batman.
Okay, so this is our toy review for this episode. We're talking about the DC Multiverse. This is, I guess, the Unmasked, Batman, based off of Ben Affleck's Batman from Batman v Superman. Oh, if only we had a camera. All
right.
So, this figure it's Batman without the mask, but he does.
No, he comes with his mask.
It comes with a mask. Comes with an accessory mask that you can put on Batman. The face is done very much in the style of Ben Affleck.
He's got like this look, like like I don't know. He looks like he's confused.
I don't know if he looks confused. He definitely he doesn't look happy.
That was Grumble Batman. Anyway.
He's a grumble. Yeah, he's a grumbler. Paint applications. I think they're pretty decent. The way that mine. All right, I'm going to downgrade that from decent to fair.
The whole suit, you can tell that the whole mold was gray. Mm-hmm. You can tell, except for the head, obviously. But the whole mold was gray, and then they just. The bat's painted really well. I like the knuckles that they did the gold, like what they did in the movie. The cape's kind of cool because it's got the tattered, but paint-wise...
And the texture, though. Talk about the texture on the cape. It's not just a sheet of plastic.
No, it's like a matte kind of weird grip to it.
It has sort of like that rough sort of texture to it.
But like paint-wise, like I said, you can see...
Remember, this figure, you can't see now because I've colored it in, but actually there was a little bit
that's right.
There was some paint application missing on the hair. I actually got a Sharpie and colored it in.
Colored in Ben Affleck's hair.
And I had picked actually this one out deliberately, even knowing that defect was there, because out of all the different Batmen that were there, this was the best sculpt, I thought, for the face. I like the paint applications everywhere else.
I think it's really well.
Apart. The boots and the gloves, apart from the little bit of gold on the tips, it's really just sort of a flat black, and there's it's a $21 figure, so you're not gonna really get anything great.
No, but it's $21.
Yeah, I feel we reviewed the Multiverse Joker Endgame figure, and I feel as though the paint applications on that were much better.
No, I agree. Now let's talk about my favorite part.
Your favorite part. So, talking about the accessory, it comes with this mask that you can... The cowl which you can slip over. It is just... it nearly makes him a bobblehead. It's so big.
When I said this earlier today to Jay, that when he puts this on, it looks like a cheap Halloween costume. It looks like a guy. It looks like the guy in the hockey pads.
It looks like the guy in the hockey pads from
Why
Dark Knight
can't
Returns.
you do this?
Tell them your name.
And
are you the real Batman? You're not. Well, why do you dress up like him? I'm sorry, Chris. You can't invoke that scene and not have me act it out.
So they've got this rubber. It's very easy to to put on and take off, and it's not terrible. But
it's terrible when you put it on him.
It is.
He looks like Muppet Batman.
It's exactly what I call him. Muppet Batman.
I am vengeance. I am the night.
Kermit!
Listen, I am the goddamn Batman, and I don't have to put up with any of your bullshit. Ah! Yeah, it is. So this figure, I think, works much better when you have the cowl off. I think the cowl does... If you wanted to do something like a display, maybe, the cowl really doesn't look as bad when you just have it sort of on anything.
No, what's kind of cool for me that I do like is it's an unmasked Batman. You don't see that very often. I always say this, and it's really kind of weird, but one of my favorite images of Batman is him sitting at the Bat computer, and he's got the cowl back, and he's thinking, like looking at the computer. And I always like that because he's got the suit, but it shows kind of the duality of the man.
Yeah, agreed.
So,
articulation-wise, what do you think of this figure?
It's not bad. The shoulder is a little... it's got some rotation. The biceps got full rotation. It's got the elbow and then wrist. So, but this one's one of the hands is a fist, and then the other one's a... I think it's okay. I think it's a grip meant for the grappling gun.
Yeah, I think it's meant for real gun, because this Batman, fuck it, just I'm tired of non-lethal. I'm gonna put some caps.
They were rubber bullets. They were rubber bullets.
Sure. Yeah. Keep telling yourself that.
So then he's got the mid section.
He's got the ab crunch. Yeah. The head. You talk about side to side. You get a little bit of motion forward and back.
Not much.
I don't think you have ankle pivot with this.
No, you don't. It's stiff at the ankle, but he's got the
thigh. He's got the thigh swivel.
It's kind of weird too. Like if you look at the angle, like I don't know, like that's straight.
No one would stand like that.
No one, no,
on purpose.
No, that's a broken femur is what that is. But like I said, you don't have the pivot on the ankle, but you've got at least the up down. So You know.
I mean, that's pretty standard. Now, how about kick forward, kick back? I think the belt restricts a little bit in the cape. Oh my God, this Batman can do like a full-on Van Damme split.
Can Van Damme split.
He can do the time cop split.
The table sit.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Look at that shit. It looks like a fold-out knife.
So I mean, I like the figure just from the standpoint that it's, as you said, they don't make very many.
No, this is a different figure. That's why I like
Batman with the mask off. So
all right, how many batarangs would you give it? Out of 5.
I'm out of 5. I think I'm probably going to give this figure 2.5 batarangs out of 5.
See, I'm nicer. I'll give it a 3. I'll give you a full 3 batarangs. All right.
Well, we have reached the end of our episode, so we have got to get out of here. But thank you very much for listening to our show. We hope you'll tune in next time. Remember, you can communicate with us over our Facebook page, over our YouTube page, over SoundCloud, or you can email us at justusnerdspc@gmail.com. All right? If you ever have, any of those moments where you're kind of getting down on yourself, just remember,
I know I do.
You have. Just remember, Chris. Just remember, you got the touch.
Don't touch me.
Okay.
You got the power.